Hey guys, how are you doing? I want to talk about this picture that I'm taking. Right now I'm in Mont Tremblant and since the morning it starts snowing, so for me I put a nice white layer on the trees and some of the oranges from the fall are still there, so it's kind of nice contrast with the two. So what I'm gonna do is, here I'm going for a vertical shot. I'm using the Sony A7R II and I'm at f8 at 1/8 of a second, 1/8 of a second at ISO 50. And I only have a Lee self-graduated 3-stop filter, like neutral density filter, and that actually just makes me to helps me control the sky. And I'm doing that just so, because when I took the shot without the filter, it kind of made the sky was way too bright compared to the foreground. So I just wanted to balance it all out. There's no other need for other filters because this is pretty much all you need. So what I'm going to do is, I also like to use a remote, so I don't touch the camera when it's set up, and just take a shot here. Okay, that looks nice. Now the water was still a while ago. Now it's kind of windy and it's moving. It's also very cold, but that's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do to get the picture. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna maybe wait a little bit till the water clears and then take a few more shots, and I'll see what happens then. But this is like really beautiful. Like, this is really a simple composition. You got these branches here in the foreground, you got the water with the reflection, you got the trees in the back there, the orange trees, and the snow on top of the mountain, a little bit of the sky. I'm including most of the, see, it's only a little bit of sky that I'm including in the picture because I want to show more of the kind of the depths, you know. And I'm focusing on the back of the mountain to make sure everything else is going to be in focus. So you gotta always do that, you know. You gotta make sure that your picture is in focus, it's well balanced, you know. And I like to use filters because it just makes it right in camera from beginning. You can always take 3 pictures and merge them later, but I find that just want to be true and just stick to that. So that's what I'm doing. So that's it. I'm gonna take a few more shots, see if it gets a bit more calm. Take a few more shots. Here we go. Go a little bit wider here, the composition, because oh shit, there's a deer right there. That's kind of cool. Let's see if she comes here. Probably not, you know, but that's part of being in nature. You see a deer, you know, see a bear, maybe not a bear, but a deer is okay. All right, a few more shots. Here we go. Oh, that's looking nice. Love that. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a bit more and do a tight one. Like so. Here we go. You know, you just have fun with it. Take a few more shots. You're outside in nature. It is cold, but it makes it worthwhile. So this is the picture that I chose to edit after you saw me how I shot this picture in the park. So now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna start at first with changing the white balance. Now if you shot this picture in RAW, it should be fine. You can do this in Lightroom. So I'm gonna try to switch to cloudy. See what that does. That's good, I like that. And I'm gonna maybe, no, I need to bring down the highlights. I mean, that's pretty good. Shadows, I'm gonna open up a little bit the shadows. I'm gonna do the whites. I'm gonna click the Alt and I'm gonna just drag the slider till I get a few dots, setting my white point. And same thing for the blacks. I'm gonna click Alt and go down till I see a few dots. And that's setting my white point and black point. Okay, and I'm not gonna do anything on the clarity. I might just go a little bit down, make it softer. I kind of like that sometimes, you know. Vibrance, I'm gonna increase the vibrance a bit, and the saturation just a tiny bit. Not too much. If you go too much, it might just be a bit too much. And you might just go check what daylight does. First is cloudy. think I'm gonna stick with daylight for white balance. You can always go back and change it if you feel like you don't like it or something. Okay, I'm gonna go down. Sharpening, I'm gonna take it down. I always do it in Photoshop. I'm gonna do even if I always do these two options, even if I'm pretty sure there was no chromatic aberration. I just do it anyway, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so for Lightroom, I'm pretty happy with that for a start. So I'm just gonna actually put that to 0. Oops, put it to 0. Here we go. Okay, let's just check before, after, before, after. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. Okay, and now I'm gonna go into Photoshop, edit in Photoshop. It's gonna open this file in Photoshop. Okay. So now it's open in Photoshop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a new layer. And actually not really. I'm gonna delete that. Gonna go to edit, filter. I'm gonna go to Onone effects, where I'm gonna do some filters on this picture. Anyway, Onone effects, then you can, it's like a filter edit, you know, kind of for finishing off your images, and you can buy that online. It's available to purchase. Take a few minutes to load. Usually it always applies the last filter you have, so I'm gonna reset everything. Okay, and I can go here to presets, go to landscape, and you have a few options here. You have landscape pop cool, golden hour sunshine, golden glow sunshine, golden hour enhancer. So sometimes it's just good to kind of check these out, see what you like. But for me, I'm just gonna go into filters, and I'm gonna just select the ones I want. So I'm gonna click dynamic contrast. I'm gonna go to natural, and here I'm just gonna play with these sliders a bit. Small, medium, I'm gonna bring it down. Large usually control stuff like, I don't need that as much. I might just do a bit of it, like so. Medium and small just brings up more detail. So if I select before, after, before, after. And if you want too much, you can always do the opacity here and change it, or you can just bring down your steps here to just reduce it. Just before. Okay, that's nice. I like that. Okay, that's kind of nice. Now, if you always want like a soft reflection, you can brush out here with the brush. You can always brush out, paint out some stuff that you don't want if you want the water to be more. Me, I like it like that, so I'm gonna stay like that. I'm gonna add another filter, and it's gonna give me here back then to the menu. let's go with color enhancer. No, not that one. Let's see what that does when I click glow. Oof. If I just do a bit of it before, because I like to give a glow to the image, but not so extreme. So if I just do a bit of it, just gives it a bit of a glow. That's just one way to do it. Before, after, before. It's not a crazy difference, but it just boosts it a little bit. Here we go. I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna add one more filter, and now I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a vignette. I like the vignettes here, and oops, that's vintage. I don't want that. Add a filter, go to vignette. I always select the vignette big softy. I like that one. And if it's too much, I can always go to 50% opacity on just this one. Every layer here, you can reduce your opacity to what you want, or you can do an overall opacity change on everything you applied below. So let's just check the difference. I'm gonna do 75, just like that, just a bit of vignette. Okay, like that. There we go, that's pretty nice. Okay, I'm gonna click apply, and it's gonna take me back into Photoshop. I just love it there. It was so nice to get some snow in the morning with these orange trees still there, you know. And this quickly changed by mid-afternoon, and the sun came out and got a bit warmer. All the snow just melted, you know. So I feel like I just got us something special, and then poof, it went away. Okay. So I go back into Photoshop. Just gonna apply it. Here we go. Okay, that's pretty good. So last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a new layer. Oops, not like that. I'm gonna make a duplicate layer. I'm gonna duplicate the layer. Do my sharpening here for my high pass sharpening. You can always keep it at 3 pixels. Click OK. Okay, I'm gonna change the this to soft light. This is the blend mode. Change it to soft light. It's gonna usually you don't see it, so but if I zoom in 100% and I scroll up, Check before, after. Gives it a bit of more sharpening. Here we go. Okay, go back to. I might actually just do see this little sign here. It's you know, there was a road here coming through, so I want to get rid of that little sign there. So I might just delete this layer, because I like to do my sharpening at the end. So I'm gonna make a new layer, another duplicate layer. I forgot to do that step. I'm gonna do the healing brush tool, small one, and just try to paint over this layer. Oops. It depends, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes it does a horrible job. Okay, let's go backwards. Actually, a quick way to do it is to... Alright, and we can start over. Maybe I'll use a clone stamp for this one. Oh, it's huge. Okay, so I'm gonna select from this area. I'm gonna paste over it. Oops, went a bit too much. Undo that, make it smaller. And select here and paint over. Here we go. And if I go back to the healing brush tool, it didn't do a bad job here. So let me just come back here and just actually here I might just go back to the spot healing brush. I'm very picky like that, but I'm gonna go back to the clone stamp, select this area, just click. Okay, so that's pretty good. Happy with that. Just check if there's anything else that might have been a bit distracting that I don't like. It was only that sign that's bugging me. The road. Okay. So I'm gonna fit on screen. Okay. Now I'm gonna make a duplicate layer. If you do Alt Command Shift E on a Mac, it merges everything underneath. And I'm gonna do the high pass filter again. My final step, sharpening. Okay. Switch to soft light. You can either do soft light or overlay, but I like soft light. It's just a bit softer than overlay. And now I'm gonna save it. Just gonna click save, and it's gonna bring it back into Lightroom where we started. And take some time. Almost. Okay. I'm just gonna minimize that. It's gonna bring it into Photoshop here. here it shows me the Photoshop file between the two. One. Here we go, you can see the difference. And you can, here I took a virtual copy of the original file, just show you where we went from originally, from here to here. Much nicer, much more beautiful. Okay, and so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to Photoshop, the same file I had, and I wanna do a save for web, and with that I'm gonna use the 20 Kuiper action panel. I want to export this for web so I can share it. So I'm gonna go to actions. I always like a bigger file, so it's vertical. Click OK. Both softwares I used, the Onone photo and this 20 Kuiper action panel, these you can buy online. I mean, you don't have to, you can always do this with Lightroom and Photoshop, but me, I like to use them, and it's just something different. Okay, now that's done. I can save this and export it. I'm gonna convert the profile. Because I was shooting this with using a ProPhoto RGB color space, so I want to switch it to sRGB. So that's the last step I do before saving it as a JPEG and file. Save as, and okay. Select Mont Tremblant, that's where it was. Select JPEG, and I'll call it fall and snow. Oops. Okay, click save, and that's done. Now I can share it online. Thank you guys.